Now, we know one of the biggest pieces of news in entertainment is the upcoming takeover of WarnerMedia by Discovery. A phrase that still doesn't sound right.
No.
It still feels like you're sure that's not the other way around. No, Discovery is taking over WarnerMedia, and this has been coming for some time.
Not the Starship.
No, not the Starship Discovery, but rather Discovery as in Discovery Plus, the Food Network, HGTV, all that stuff, all under the umbrella of Discovery. They are taking over WarnerMedia, and it looks like the finalization of that is going to be April 11th. So it's coming up in like a week.
That's my mom's birthday.
Well, happy birthday to your mom.
It's so nice she gets these networks.
Yeah.
I know, right? I mean, I'm going to call her up and ask for a job.
There you go.
Let's get us on
And here's the thing, though. It was been expected that as a part of this takeover, that the CEO of WarnerMedia, Jason Kilar, would probably not be keeping his job. There is room but one ass on the throne, and that ass belongs to David Zaslav of Discovery, and he is going to be the Grand Imperial Poobah over there. So we've been expecting that. But today, ahead of that merger, has come news in the announcement that Jason Kilar is out. He sent out his letter of resignation. He sent it out to all the staff of WarnerMedia and all that kind of stuff. Now, Jason Kilar has a really interesting background with social media stuff. I believe he was one of the co-founders of Hulu, which Hulu is one of my favorite streaming services. So,
Same.
I mean, thank you, Jason Kilar, for that. However, and maybe unfortunately, what Kilar will probably be most remembered for, at least in the immediate upcoming future. Who knows how we'll look back on him 5 years, 10 years down the line with his, short reign at WarnerMedia. But at least for the next few years, I think when probably people talk about his stewardship of WarnerMedia, it'll probably all come back down to the decision that in 2021, he almost tanked the entire company by making the decision to take all of Warner Brothers movies in 2021 and put them straight onto streaming on HBO Max. In what can only be described as a desperate attempt at relevancy and trying to get HBO Max into the discussion and things like that. It backfired horribly. They didn't get the new addition of subscribers that they thought they would get. I mean, they definitely added new subscribers, but it wasn't much different than the growth trajectory they already had. They lost tens of millions, not hundreds of millions of dollars in potential box office revenue, and pissed off a lot of HBO's partners, artists, creators, filmmakers, business associates, financiers. I mean, they just pissed everybody off. Like if there was an Olympic event that said, piss off as many people in one moment, go, Jason Kilar and HBO and WB in that circumstance would have won the gold medal. It got the normally completely docile Denis Villeneuve to write an absolute assassination piece that was published in Variety, I believe it was. As Christopher Nolan, I mean, all the filmmakers came out and said, these they were not happy. But, and it's unfortunate that that's what we're going to think about Jason Kilar in the immediate context, because he's done a lot of really interesting things in his career. But still, look, we knew this was coming. He was going to be down. The new sheriffs are taking over here. Rob, we hear about, it's now official. We've been expecting Kilar to step down, but it's now official. The head of one of the most prominent historical media companies in history is now stepped down. When you think about his reign over there at WarnerMedia, what are you going to be thinking about, and what can we expect moving forward now?
Well, when he first came on, I was kind of excited about it. I mean, it was part of the whole AT&T thing, and it seemed to me that AT&T builds the pipelines that deliver all of our goodness that we watch and love. So it made sense to me that AT&T would want to acquire someplace like Warner Brothers, because then they would control both ends of the pipeline, what's going into their pipeline and what's coming out of their pipeline. And that made sense. But unfortunately, making movies and TV shows and entertainment, it's really hard, John. And a telecommunications company really is not the best fit, I think. And they found out because, all these executives are like, woo, look what we got. We got a movie studio. Let's make TV and movies. Well, because everyone thinks they can. It's the one business in the world where you could walk up to anybody on the street and go, hey, do you have an idea for a TV show? And everyone would be like, oh, I totally do.
Literally every Uber driver. Every driver ever has been like, let me give you my pitch.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have no power.
And it's that way. It didn't work out. But I think that he's a smart guy, and I think that he will, whatever he does, he'll probably go someplace and it'll be innovative. He's not dumb. And,
not by any stretch of the imagination.
He'll probably do something pretty interesting and innovative. I mean, I think that there was a confluence of events. It wasn't just him doing stupid stuff. I think Toby Emmerich actually was the architect of the day and date deal. He just thought it was a good idea. But I think now with Discovery taking over, I mean, David Zaslav he's very well regarded in the industry. We've talked a lot about how he deals with talent and what he believes in terms of his philosophy of making shows. I think it's a very good pick, but I think that Jason Kilar will probably wind up doing something, I don't know, pretty good. Maybe he'll go into production. Maybe he'll be an executive somewhere else. But I think he's innovative and interesting and has good ideas. And obviously, he's not some train wreck like other executives we talk about on this show.
Anyway, Chris, you hear about this. Again, not an unexpected move. We have, ever since we heard about the merger, we kind of thought he'd be stepping down. But now that he is, when you look back at his kind of tenure, what are you going to think of? And what lies ahead now for Warner Brothers going into the sunset of Discovery?
I mean, it's a pretty short tenure, all things considered.
Yes,
2020 of April, right? And what a time to be on board. Goodness gracious. So with that in mind, honestly, well done, because other people who we've seen step in around this same time aren't faring so well. What I really love too is the memo that's circulating that he sent to the rest of his staff talking about leaving. And he's just so chuffed with his time there. He's talking about how he felt so creatively fulfilled, how he felt professionally fulfilled. He liked having this kind of direct connection to consumers across the globe and found all of this work really, really gratifying, which is so nice to hear. It's nice to see somebody leave so amicably and filled with that, hey, what I've done here is done. And I think it's time for the next
class
venture.
act.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It just is a very, very classy exit. I love that he drops his Twitter too in there, where he's like, if you follow me on Twitter, you can still see what I'm up to. But I'm really excited to see what he does next. I'm more interested, though, to see what Warner Brothers does next. How is this going to change with the merger and everything? What's going to happen? What's going on with this little new rise of power?
Yeah, I mean, see, this is, you brought up the thing that I'm really most fascinated about, because there are legal things that can't happen until they take over. And a lot of people think that the moment they announce that there's going to be a merger, that David Zaslav is already pulling strings. And that's not how it works.
Right.
Legally, that's not how it works. I mean, it can't work that way. I am dying to see what happens, because David Zaslav is a guy who moves fairly quickly. Mm-hmm. Once he determines certain things are going to happen on one of his networks and one of his shows, they happen fairly quick. And I'm going to be interested to know and see, once April 11th comes around, or 12th, whatever it's going to be, do we hear DCEU canceled? Do we? I mean, I'm not saying that's actually going to happen. I'm just saying I'm going to be curious to see how rapid that thing starts. Now, of course, kind of connected to DC, Kilar's predecessor, the CEO there. I mean, there's a lot of whispers that the reason his predecessor got fired because he's the one who greenlit Justice League, the HBO Max Justice League, which ultimately they say maybe cost him about $50 million in losses or stuff like that. So I don't know. I doubt for a company the size of WarnerMedia, though, that a $50 million loss probably cost a CEO their job.
Yeah. Although it would be very funny if the first thing that David Zaslav did was he went on Twitter and put hashtag restore the Snyderverse and rehires Henry Cavill to play Superman again. Hey, by the way, I just made that shit up. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, just be clear.
Let me be clear. I just make that up. I would think it's cool. But no, I think you're right, John. I think that he's like the Cylons. He has a plan. And he's going to implement that plan. I think it's going to be...
That's a great Battlestar Galactica reference, by the way. Well done.
He's going to be quick and he's going to be decisive. And I'll tell you, we've talked about in the past how he has great relationships with talent, and his guiding philosophy is make great entertainment. And I think that's, that kind of thinking is going to bring us, viewers and fans, goodness.
And shouldn't that be everyone's line of thinking? It's bananas to me that's not.
Who isn't? You know what? I'm going to keep quiet.
All right.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Filters are being used today.
Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? The guy who's been the boss over at WarnerMedia the last couple of years has resigned, paving the way now. They are clearing the decks for the Discovery takeover here happening in a week. What are your guys' thoughts on this right now? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.
I'm gonna go.
Hey guys, we want to take a second and thank a sponsor of today's video, the good folks at Manscaped. I was in the shower the other day and I looked down and I thought, my goodness, the boys look fantastic. Dr. Jack Hammer, the amazing Mr. Fantastical, have never looked or felt better, and that is in part due to our friends at Manscaped. Because our friends at Manscaped are the global leaders in below-the-waist hygiene and are turning men's shower dreams into their favorite routine with the all-new Ultra Premium Collection. This all-in-one hygiene skin and hair bundle is designed to upgrade the everyday man's shower routine from head to toe. Your skin, hair, and balls deserve the best, my friends. You start off using the cologne-infused Ultra Premium Body Wash with aloe vera and sea salt to keep your skin feeling clean and moisturized all day. Then boom, it's time to take care of your hair. Simply apply the 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner that cleanses and nourishes your hair all in one step. Then once you dry yourself off and hop out of the shower, it's time to protect yourself from body odor by applying the Manscaped aluminum-free deodorant. And do you have tattoos or any dry skin? A lot of us do. It's time to hit your skin with the hydrating body moisturizer spray. Cap it all off by applying some Manscaped lip balm. And then last but not least, we're moving on to the Lawnmower 4.0 electric trimmer to clean off any unwanted body hair. So guys, get 20% off plus free shipping with the code Campea, that's Campea at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code Campea at manscaped.com.